like 3 minutes, and then my brother's like, oh, guess what? It's 2:30, as I was just painting my nails. So they'll dry by the time we start. But hello, welcome. Let me get the recipe page on here. And all of you who are watching later on YouTube or the Facebook page, welcome. It's so fun having you here. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And even on Facebook, you can hit the subscribe button, because then the next time I go live, you will be notified right away. And it's easier to find the weekly cooking video. I hope you all had a fabulous Thanksgiving. I missed everyone next week. It was sad. It got to about Friday, and I'm like, wait, I didn't get to see all my friends this week. But I'm glad we get to be together this week. We're going to make eggnog 2 different ways. Sugar-free, flour-free, of course. Okay, we have the recipe page. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. My mom, hello, Mom. She's in the other room. So, all right, well, we're going to get started. This recipe is in my holiday volume. Oh, no, I'm stuck. Here we go. It's in the brand new holiday volume. Otherwise, it's in Cooking with Joy, and I want to say either volume 2 or 3. I'm not exactly sure, but it's in another cookbook also. So it's in the holiday volume in Cooking with Joy, and in the holiday volume, it's page 85. We're going to start with the traditional eggnog. Shayna, hi Shayna, welcome to my kitchen. Kathy, hi Kathy. So we're going to start with the traditional eggnog. It's on page 85 of the holiday volume. Now, you might be thinking, as we keep going with this recipe, wait, aren't you going to cook that egg or anything? But this recipe has a raw egg in it. It's okay. Just think of all the years we ate cookie dough, raw cookie dough, and I never got salmonella. Anyways, my eggs are from a farm, so I trust them a little bit more than store-bought eggs. But the chance of getting sick on this is really low. I mean, you'll be okay. It's a raw egg. You can feel like Rocky. Nicole, hey, you look so elegant with your hair in a bun and pretty eyeshadow too. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I thought I wanted to get in the Christmas holiday spirit. You guys are so nice. I missed a comment. Annette, hi, and hi to my mom too. Joyce, hi, Natalie. Maybe your cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving. It was so delicious. The zest was awesome. Yay, Joyce. Oh, that cranberry sauce, I made some too. I'm still having some of it because it's left over. It is so good. And yes, that zest is a must. Mom, hi, Annette. And to your beautiful family. Janice, hi, you look so amazing. Oh, thank you, Janice. You guys are so sweet. Okay, so we're going to start with the traditional eggnog. And there's a lot of recipes. So if you're kind of like weirded out by the raw egg, there's a lot of recipes that do have raw egg in it, and it's okay. Like tiramisu, that's a raw egg, like if you go to a restaurant. But we are going to be making the second eggnog, and that one does have a cooked egg. So if you're a little bit like, ooh, I don't know about the raw egg thing, then maybe try the second eggnog. I ate both of them when I made this the first time, and still alive. It's okay. Stan, hi Stan and Michelle. Kathy, hey Kathy, so fun to see you from Texas. So the tempered one and this traditional eggnog, for me, I like the texture and the flavor of the traditional eggnog better than the tempered, but the tempered was still good too. It just had a little bit of a texture different. The traditional was a little bit creamier, a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more for me. So try both, see which one you like. So we're going to start with the traditional eggnog. So we're going to take an egg and we are going to separate it. So we want our egg and egg white separated. So again, I have some farm eggs here. I usually weigh my egg because when you get eggs from a farm, they're not like when you get them at the store and they're all perfectly the same size. They're all a little bit different sizes. So this time I'm not going to weigh my egg because I'm going to separate it and I don't want to put both glasses on. So I'm just going to take an egg and we're going to separate the yolk and the white. This time I don't think I'm going to use any bowls. I think I'm going to just use all cups. This is just a drinking glass. I have found for whisking the egg white, when you just do one egg, it's easier to do it in a glass than in a bowl that has like a wider space. Because with one egg, you don't get very much in one area. So you kind of need a smaller area to whisk your egg in. So I like to use just a drinking glass. And I know there's probably really cool tools to separate eggs, but I just like to do the old method of transfer it back and forth until you just have yolk and just egg. Alright, so egg whites in one, yolk in the other. Oh, Stan and Michelle, you're watching. Michelle made this beautiful towel, kitchen towel, and I get to use it today. I'm so excited. It says, "Rise up and pray." That's a good one. And then there's a Bible verse. So fun. I love it. Thank you so much, Michelle, for making this. She also etched these cups and made one. This one has my name on it. She etched my name on there. Isn't that beautiful? This is like a perfect parfait mug. Yes, so thank you so much, Michelle and Stan. Mom, hi, Stan and Michelle. Okay, so we'll keep going with our egg. I did get a little egg yolk in there. Let's see if I can get it. I heard if you wet your finger that you can get an eggshell out really easy with that. But I don't think I can fit my finger in here. Just one. There we go. Don't want egg. No crunchy eggnog. That's not a good eggnog. So we're going to whisk one egg white until stiff peaks form. So you could use like a hand mixer and just use one beater. Otherwise, my little immersion blender has a whisk attachment that came to it. So I'm going to use this. And we're just going to whisk this. I'm going to turn it down to medium because I have like squirted it everywhere before, and that is not fun to do. I had found when I was doing the whipped coffee thing, if you kind of pulse your whisk or your beater up and down a little, it froths a little quicker. Just something I noticed. Because it gets it nice and agitated. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. There we go. Almost there. Alright, so we have stiff peaks, and you can tell because you should be able to kind of turn the glass. You should be able to turn all the way over, but I'm not that brave. You know, like you would go to a long time ago, not now that we eat sugar and flour free, but you'd go to Dairy Queen and they always tip the thing over. That I'm always like, oh, you're going to drop the ice cream. But you should be able to do that, then you know that your egg whites are stiff. Sweetie, hello from Canada, from cold Canada. Ooh, it hasn't been that cold here yet, and we have no snow. That's kind of disappointing in Minnesota. You would expect us to have snow, but it's coming. We're getting snow soon. Nicole, what? An immersion blender with a whisk. I need one. Yes, it came with the little attachment. I thought that was pretty cool. It came with this one and then the blender part of it. So I do use this a lot. Like when you make the whipped coffee or you do the instant coffee in like warm water, this thing works awesome. Stan, hi Pastor Maggie. Glad you like the towel. Yes, it is so pretty. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so we did our first step and we whisked our egg whites until stiff peaks. I did it. Okay, I was brave. Now we are going to add a splash of vanilla, and then we're going to whip again. So we're just going to whip in our vanilla. So you could measure this. I would do like, I don't know, half a teaspoon or less, or more if you really like vanilla. I'm just going to do a little splash because we don't want it too watery. We want our egg whites to be nice and stiff. Annette, I love your hair today. Oh, thank you, Annette. Sometimes the hair, it has a mind of its own, so it needs to go in a timeout. So I put it in a bun. Now, you can over whisk egg whites, so you don't want to like, oh, I'll just keep going. Maybe they'll get really, really stiff. So it should kind of look like this. It kind of looks like a whipped cream texture, which is kind of fun. Now we are going to take our egg yolk, and we are going to whip our egg yolk until it becomes a little bit lighter in color. And this kind of breaks everything down so you don't like get a big glob of egg. That would be gross. So we're going to whip this. See how the glass is just like the perfect size? If you don't have like an immersion blender with this, you can use a hand blender and just use one of the little beater things in it. But yeah, using a cup is so much easier than a bowl. I found that out the hard way. And I found out, don't just put your glass on the counter and use your other hand to do things, because my glass started spinning and it tipped over and then it shot egg whites everywhere. So learn from my mistakes. Don't do that. 2 hands on the glass. So you can kind of see that this changed color now. It's a nice, beautiful, sunshiny yellow. It's very fun. Gail Golden, whipped coffee? Tell me more. Yes, so whipped coffee, or they call it, I'm going to probably butcher this whole name, but they call it like Dolgona, D-O-G-D-O-L-G-O-N-A, something like that. And it's instant coffee. It's like 1 teaspoon instant coffee into 3 teaspoons water. You whisk it. They add sugar. And I've noticed that without the sugar, it does deflate pretty fast, but who needs the sugar? You don't need the sugar. It tastes fine. But yeah, you whip that with the water, and it makes like this frothy coffee goodness. It's really fun. Nicole, your tips are very helpful. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Beverly, I'm so excited to have Blee compliant eggnog. You're so awesome. Me too. This recipe kind of came out of desperation because it was last year Christmas. And I'm like, or around Christmas, and I'm like, I want eggnog. The guys are having eggnog, and that was like my favorite. So I thought I can make a sugar-free eggnog. So I looked up some recipes, got some inspiration, and here they came. So I agree with you. We got to have eggnog on Christmas. Okay, so we did that. Now we are going to add our milk, our cream, and our nutmeg. So we have 1 egg that we whipped separately with a splash of vanilla in the egg whites. Now we're going to do 4 ounces milk. I like whole milk. To me, it's less processed. They do less stuff to it. So I like to use whole milk. And you don't need it pasteurized and homogenized, because that just breaks down your milk and takes out all the good stuff that you want in it. So I try to get mine the least processed, if anything, just pasteurized. It would be really fun to find somewhere where I could get just really good raw milk straight from the cow. That would be awesome. So we are going to add our milk and cream and nutmeg and salt to our egg yolk mixture. Yes, making sure. So we're going to do 4 ounces milk. That's half of our protein. 2, 4. Perfect. Gail Golden, me too on the eggnog. Yeah, it just tastes like Christmas. And we're not blending fruit. We're not like replacing our meal with a whole shake. We still get vegetables and all that stuff on the side. So we're still like chewing our food and stuff. It's just fun to once in a while have a really Christmassy holiday meal. Okay, so we are going to add a half teaspoon of nutmeg. Let me grab a half teaspoon. Okay. Half teaspoon of nutmeg. This is what really gives it that eggnoggy flavor, is the nutmeg. So if you want to do like a little bit more nutmeg, you can. I think we'll be sprinkling nutmeg on the top also. That just adds that little deliciousness right at the end. Okay, so we added our milk. Now we're going to add our cream. Now, heavy whipping cream and half are different weight measurements. I didn't know that until I looked it up, but I did. So for heavy whipping cream, 1 ounce is a full fat. For half, it's 2 ounces of full fat serving. So if you're using half, do 2 ounces in this. If you're using heavy whipping cream, which is the bomb, use 1 ounce. So we're going to do 1 ounce heavy whipping cream. And the heavy whipping cream, in its title, is whipping cream, so it gives it kind of a frothy goodness. Okay, so we added that. Now we're going to add a pinch of salt, always, because we will be adding fruit, and whenever you're working with fruit or savory, always add a pinch of salt. It just adds, it brings out the sweetness and it brings out the flavor of things. And my favorite is pink Himalayan sea salt. This time we got the fine instead of the big ground where you grind it, which is fine. I would just maybe not use as much of this as you would the ground sea salt, because that you can use a lot more and it doesn't like take over and become super salty. So we added our milk, cream, nutmeg, and salt. So now we're going to mix on low. So I'm going to turn this down. We're going to mix on low for about a minute, and that'll do things to the egg. It'll get the whipping cream kind of whipped a little bit, and it just makes everything creamy goodness. And I found out the hard way. Don't start mixing with the beater all the way in, because I don't know why when you turn on beaters it goes really fast at first and you'll spill like stuff everywhere. So I like to start with it on out and then slowly bring it in the cup. That's just something I learned the hard way. So we're just going to mix on low for about a minute. Alright, that was about a minute. It doesn't have to be like exact a minute. Just around until everything's nice and mixed. Ooh, it smells like eggnog already. This is what it should kind of look like. Can't really tilt the glass. Can you see that? It's just kind of, it almost looks like eggnog. It looks thick and creamy and milky. Okay, after we've done that, now we're going to mash our banana. So we're going to do 2 ounces banana. And then you'll get banana on the side. So I am going to grab a bowl. I thought this was going to be bowl-less today, but I forgot about mashing the banana. But it's all good. We'll just mash some banana. All right, so we want 2 ounces banana. And my bananas are perfect. They're a little bit spotted, so they're going to be pretty sweet. You don't want a super green banana, because then you're not going to get the sweetness that you need for this recipe. 2 ounces, perfect. All right, so we're going to, oops, I have my vibrate on. Okay, there we go. So we're going to mash our banana, and you want to really, really mash it. I just tuned in. Will the recipe be posted? Sherry, welcome. Thank you for joining. You can find this recipe in my holiday cookbook, in Cooking with Joy, and it's either Volume 2 or Volume 3. I'm not exactly sure. You can find the recipe index on my website. Will I be posting the recipe later? Probably. I'm not sure like when yet. Otherwise, you can always find the replay of this on my website, which is weightlossrecipescookbook.com. You can find previous episodes. We made some delicious pumpkin things for Thanksgiving, and we made lots of yummy things, and you can find the other posted recipes on there also. So you can find all that on my website, weightlossrecipescookbook.com. Okay, so we have our banana nice and mashed. So it should be very, very mashed. Like no big chunks. We don't want any chunks in this. We just want it nice and smooth. I'm looking at my computer for the recipe. Recipe's over here. Okay, so we mashed our banana, and we're going to pour into our creamy mixture of this, not the egg white, but the egg yolk mixture. So let's put this in. And then we're going to, you can either take a spoon or use this fork and kind of whisk it a little bit to get everything mixed. But I'm just going to take my mixer here. And I'm just going to mix it in again. So we have it on low, so we're just going to mix everything just till it's nice and combined. And turn it way down low. Everything is nice and combined. No big chunks. And when you even look at the bottom, it has those like little specks that you usually see in like store-bought eggnog. So it's kind of fun. Okay, so now we are going to fold all of our ingredients together. So we're going to take our egg whites and egg yolk. I'm going to grab a spatula. So that we can fold these together. And then you don't eat this right away. You should make this like 24 hours in advance or a couple hours in advance because this needs to refrigerate to get a really good flavor. So all the flavors combine together and get all friends. They need to be best friends. So we want to get all our egg whites in there. Now we don't want to mix it too much because we don't want to completely flatten and deflate our egg whites. So you just kind of want to gently fold. But then you don't want any chunks left over. So you want to make sure everything's nice and mixed. Just going to gently fold them together. And then you're going to pour this into an airtight container. Otherwise, I'm going to just take cellophane and cover this. And then you're going to refrigerate it for a couple hours to overnight. I'm going to do this overnight. This will be lunch tomorrow. So exciting because this is a lunch recipe. So then with this, you get more food than just this, which is good because, I mean, this for a whole meal would not be cool. You get to have 4 ounces fruit and 6 ounces vegetables on the side. I'm going to close this a little bit more because we're getting a lot of sunlight. So you still get a lot of food on the side. So you get 4 more ounces fruit and 6 ounces vegetables. Unless you do 10 and 10, then you get 10 ounces vegetables. And then that is your lunch. Isn't that fun? So you get some eggnog, get to have some fun with family and stuff, and enjoy your eggnog while they're enjoying their store-bought eggnog. And this one's probably tastes better. Just saying. Peggy, need the recipe, please. I just tuned in. So, Peggy, you can find this recipe in my holiday volume cookbook in Cooking with Joy, and I think it's either volume 2 or 3. I'm not exactly sure. It's the traditional eggnog. Otherwise, you can watch the replay of this on my website, weightlossrecipescookbook.com. Once this is finished, you can watch it on Facebook again, on my Instagram. You can watch it all again. Francis, sounds amazing. I wonder how it would taste in the evening with an addition of rum extract. Ooh, yeah, that would probably be perfect. Because I just have just a couple of hours to overnight just to make sure that everything gets nice and cold and it just kind of sits and marinates. That's kind of what I think of what it does in the fridge. It gets all marinated together and all the flavors. And then you'll just top it with a pinch of nutmeg, and there you go. Just give it a little stir before you eat it again, because the egg white will separate just a little bit. You can kind of see it's nice and frothy. I just smell it. Oh, it smells so good. It smells just like Christmas. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do the tempered eggnog. So that's actually just the next page page 65 of the holiday volume. This is the holiday volume. This is the tempered eggnog. So this one we're going to cook a little bit. So we are going to mash our banana again. This one we're going to do 2 ounces banana again. So I'm going to turn my scale back on. Peggy, thank you. You're welcome, and thank you for joining, Peggy. It's so fun having you here. Let's see. So we're going to do 2 ounces banana. Not exactly 2 ounces. There we go. We're going to mash our banana. We're going to mash it really well again because we don't want any big chunks, because that is not good in an eggnog drink. And surprisingly, like, the banana does not take over the flavor. It just gives it a mild sweetness. Alright, so it's nice and mashed, no big chunks again. It should look like baby food. That's what it kind of looks like to me. Then we're going to take our eggs again and we're going to separate them. So we'll put our spatula to the side and we're going to separate another egg. Let's see. When I'm not weighing, I like to pick the biggest one because that's usually about 2 ounces. I don't think I've ever had an egg much over 2 ounces. Maybe like 0.1 or something. And that was a super giant egg. So we're going to put our egg whites in this one, because I had the egg whites before, so you can reuse your cup, less dishes. So just separate the egg yolk and the egg white. Try not to break your egg yolk, because that gets kind of messy. Okay, good enough. So then we are going to beat our egg yolk again until it lightens in color. So I'm going to use my little whisk again, and I'm going to turn it up to about medium high around there. You can kind of see it changes color as you're whisking it, from like a deeper yellow to like a light sunshiny yellow. And you can tell the texture gets like a little frothy or kind of whipped, almost like a custardy texture. Then you kind of know, okay, it's lightened in color then. So it should kind of look like this. Kind of custardy yellow, nice and creamy, almost a little bit whipped and a little bit thicker than just like runny egg yolk. Then you know it's nice and whipped. Then we are going to add our banana to the egg yolk. And then we're going to stir it a little bit, make sure it gets nice and mixed with that egg yolk. Just kind of make sure the banana is nice and mashed if there's any chunks. All right, perfectly combined. Then we're going to add our milk. So we're going to do 4 ounces milk again, and we're going to add that to our yolk mixture. Oh, no, we're not. Okay, so now we're going to, what I just said back there, don't listen to that. All right, rewind. We are going to add our milk and our, let's see, we're going to do milk, nutmeg, and cinnamon, and we're going to add it to our saucepan. So I just have this really tiny little pot. You want it just a little one, not a big one, because you can burn your milk then if you have like a big one and it's really flat and separated. So we're going to zero our scale. We're going to add 4 ounces milk, which is half our protein. Got to make sure the scale's not touching anything on the side. I've done that where I'm like, oh, this isn't measuring correctly, and here it was touching something on the side. That can mess things up. ounces. Then we're going to add a half teaspoon of nutmeg. And you could do, if you really, really, really want it super nutmeggy, you can do a little bit more than half a teaspoon. You could do 1 teaspoon if you want. So we're going to do half a teaspoon nutmeg. Then we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon. I didn't grab the cinnamon. All right, here's the cinnamon. We're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Just to our saucepan. Then just kind of mix it around a little bit. Get the nutmeg and seasonings mixed with your milk. All right, then we are going to heat our milk over, what was it? Was it low heat? Oh, medium-low heat. Move these eggs. So we're going to do this on medium-low heat until it gets nice and heated through, but we don't want it boiling. We want it to steam but not boil, so we'll keep an eye on this. We'll turn the light on. So we'll let this do its thing. Then, what do we do with our egg white? So while this is heating, we're going to whisk our egg white and get that nice and frothy. We want stiff peaks again, so I'm going to turn this up to high, and then we're going to whisk this until stiff peaks form. Getting there. You can tell because it's getting really bubbly, but it's not like creamy yet. So just keep whisking. Egg whites just don't want to whip. They're kind of just in that egg yolky texture where it's just kind of like watery and soupy. So maybe we'll let it sit a little bit and try it again. Our milk is not steaming yet. We're going to get this to froth. It'll froth. If not, we'll add some cream of, what is it? Cream of tartar? Tartar. I have it. It's over here. What is it? Cream of tartar. I was right. I'm like, that sounds wrong. It's not tartar sauce. But you can add like a pinch of this, and this really helps whip things. Oh, we're going to pause this because our milk is starting to steam. So we're going to turn it off because we don't want it too hot. So this is where the tempering the egg comes in, where it kind of cooks our mixture, but not, we don't want it like, we don't want it scrambled eggs. That's nasty. Peggy, can you use any kind of milk or just whole milk? You could use any kind of milk. You could use skim milk, 2%. Any kind of milk works. Whole milk will probably be like the creamiest texture, but they'll all work. Janice, was there egg yolk on the whisk? There was a little bit, so that might be the culprit. The egg yolk in there just a little bit. You're probably right, Janice. I should have rinsed it off. Oh well, accidents happen, but we'll make it work. All right, so we're going to stir our milk just a little bit. So we are going to take 1 spoonful of hot milk, and we're going to whisk it into our egg yolk mixture, just so it kind of heats it up slowly. So now we're going to do that with about 2 or 3 more spoonfuls of the hot milk, because what this does is it heats up your milk really slowly, or it heats up your egg mixture without like cooking them. So just kind of whisk in a spoonful here. We're going to do another spoonful. That was about a half spoonful. So we're going to do 1 more. You just want to make sure that your yolk mixture is nice and hot before you add it all to your saucepan, because we don't want to scramble our eggs. So now we're going to pour our egg mixture into our saucepan. We want to get all the little bits in there. And we learned a lesson. Don't have egg yolk on your whisk when you whisk your egg whites. Learn that one today. I learned that all for you. Now you guys don't have to do the same mistakes I make. Okay, so we're going to turn our stove onto medium heat. And then we're going to turn our timer on for 3 minutes. And we're going to stir every once in a while just to make sure it stays nice and creamy. While that's going, we're going to get our egg whites to mix. To get nice stiff. I really want to say stiff peaks. So I'm going to add just a pinch of cream of tartar, because it'll really help whip it up. I don't know why, but I've seen it where they do that with aquafaba. When they want the aquafaba to get really, really whipped, they'll add cream of tartar. And I've seen people do it with egg whites. There's something in it that the egg whites really like, and it gets them all whipped up. It's working! Stop, because this is what I did the last time, and it spilt and there was egg white everywhere. I tried to whip it while I was doing something with my other hand. That was not a good idea. So we want to make sure that our eggs don't cook too much. So I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because it is steaming a lot. We don't want it to boil. We want it just to get nice and steamed. We got pretty stiff peaks. Not as good as the first time, but it's not bad for accidentally having egg yolk on there. I could almost tip it over. I don't want to do that because it will pour out. So it's not the stiffest of peaks, but that's okay. All right, we got 40 seconds left. It's nice and creamy. So don't let this mixture boil, because that will scramble your eggs, and we don't want eggnog scrambled eggs. So it got just a little bit thicker. You can kind of see that just a little bit. So it says to let this cool for an hour. So we're going to turn this off. We had about 10 seconds left, but it was pretty cooked through. Because you can cook it 2 to 3 minutes. We did about 10 seconds less than 3 minutes. We did that. So we're going to let this cool for an hour. I'm not going to let it cool for an hour because what are we going to do for an hour while it's cooling? I'm just going to mix it, but normally the recipe, you're going to let that cool for an hour. I'm just going to keep stirring it. It'll help cool it down a little bit. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add a splash of vanilla to our whipped egg whites, again, like we did the first recipe, because we want our eggnog kind of vanilla-y. So I wouldn't do any more than a half teaspoon because it might make it a little bit too liquidy. So I did about a fourth of a teaspoon. So we have our egg whites whipped. We have our milk cooling. Then we are going to mix our, it's supposed to be cooled mixture, but we'll see what happens when it's hot. We're going to pour both of those into this mug here. And I'm going to temper it like I did the first one, where you add just a little bit of the hot mixture, just so we don't like cook our egg whites either. Pour this into our cup. I could have just poured it on top of the egg whites, but I want it in the pretty cup. So we want all our egg white mixture. Okay, so now I'm going to whisk this while I add this. Slowly I'm going to pour this into this hot mixture, and you can kind of see it's thickened just a little bit. Those little chunks, that's banana, so it's not like egg. My eggs are not cooked, but that's the banana. Because you're not going to get this completely smooth with mashing a banana, but it'll still taste really good. It smells really good. So we're going to just slowly pour some of this in. But for best flavor, I would cool the egg yolk mixture in the fridge. Well, let it cool out here, then cool it in the fridge for about an hour. We're going to do it this way today. We want to get all our yummy milk mixture. No food left behind. We'll mix it up again. Gotta sniff it. Oh, it smells so good. Let's see. Did we add our cream? Oh, well, there is cream. Where is this cream? Well. So, I found an error. This is what happens when you're cooking. I forgot to list where we add the cream. I'm guessing we added the cream with our milk mixture, but that's okay, because even though we forgot it, so if you have the holiday volume, if you have the tempered eggnog, I forgot to list where the cream is. That's okay. I can update this. This is what happens. You know, you can edit something and edit something and edit something, and there's always going to be mistakes. We're human. My sister once looked into hiring like a big professional editing company to do her books, and they promised a 3% error. So in her like novel books that are 300 pages, that's what, 30 pages of errors. That's a lot of pages in one book of errors. So, you know, we're human. We're going to find errors. I was reading a Bible once. I have a couple different ones. I was reading it, and I found errors in there. So you're going to find errors. But let me know. I can always fix them if you find errors in the book. So this one, we are just going to pour our cream on top. But originally I would have done it in with the milk mixture, heated that all up with our cream, but that's okay because it'll still taste good. So we are going to add 1 ounce of cream as our fat. But if you have half and half, I would do 2 ounces. So we're just going to pour this right in here. 1 ounce. Perfect. Kind of mix it all up. You never know what's going to happen live. You might forget an ingredient, but that's okay because we will troubleshoot it together. And we'll make it work. Look at that. It just looks so perfect, so creamy. This will be lunch the next day. So fun. So then you'll cover this like the first one, and then you'll cover this and refrigerate this for an hour, or for a couple hours, or overnight, because then it really gets everything marinated and all the flavors kind of get into everything. I made this, I think the first time I made it like a double or triple batch, because one of my guys to taste it in my house. They don't eat this way, so I had them, they were my guinea pigs, and like, hey, taste this. Does this taste good? And they said it was really good. They liked both of them. I think they both said they like the traditional eggnog better. It has a little bit of a different consistency. See, it's separated just a little bit, so when you do take it out of the fridge, I would mix it up a little bit. So here is the traditional, and here is the tempered, just to show you the difference. They're both about the same. Let's see. They both smell the same. This one smells a little bit more like nutmeggy, where this one is a little bit of a more mild smell. Gail, I agree on the errors in the book. I've done 3. It happens. Right, I mean, errors. I could sit there all day and just pick out little, oh, this is wrong, oh, this is wrong. But I want to get them out to you so fast that sometimes I will miss things like that. I think in my volume 7, but I fixed it. Volume 7, I forgot to list an ingredient also. It happens. But I did fix it, so those of you who got the updated one, it was fixed. So some of you know, some of you don't. Annette, Chloe can't wait to get back to cooking. All the kids started distance learning, so we're all adjusting. Oh, yeah, that is a big change. It's a lot of work. I'm excited to see more of Chloe's baking adventure creations. They are so fun. Well, those are our recipes today. So these are both lunch recipes, and both of these you would side with 4 ounces fruit and then 6 ounces vegetable, or 10 ounces vegetable if you do 10 and 10. Or you could have this for breakfast, because you can swap a fat portion, a serving of fat for a serving of grain in the morning, but not the other way around. So you can't like go to lunch and be like, oh, I don't want a fat, I want a grain instead. It doesn't work that way, but it does work this way where you can swap those two. So you could technically have this for breakfast, and then you would have 4 ounces fruit on the side, and that would be your whole breakfast. Otherwise, for lunch, you get vegetables and fruit with this. So you get a nice, hearty meal, and you won't be left hungry. This will keep you really full all throughout the day. I've tried it. It's really good. So those are our recipes today. Thank you so much for watching. It's always so fun cooking with you guys in my kitchen. I missed you all so much last week, not having the cooking with the live cooking show. But I hope you all had a fabulous Thanksgiving. You all saw your family, had a great time together. It might have been a different year for a lot of us, but you just make the best of it, because remember, you're only one thought away from a good day. Speaking of that, if you would like to join me for Bible study tonight on the Love of God Family Church Facebook page, I'll be sharing, and we have just a really good time together. It's in my kitchen. We sit at our dining room table. It's me and my family, and we just really get into the Bible, and it's just really encouraging, hope-filled, just a really fun time. We all share. We all have really cool ideas, and it's just so fun being all together. You get to join my family. Yeah, so it's 6:30 tonight Central Time on the Love of God Family Church Facebook page. Otherwise, if you're personally friends with me on Facebook, I share the watch party. So it'd be really fun to have you. Gail, do you do the tempered because some people don't like raw eggs? Yes, I did do that. And for me, when I was testing out these recipes, I just wanted to be like, ooh, raw egg, that's kind of weird. So I had 2 recipes that I made work for me, and then I'm like, okay, these are both good, so they both have to go in the cookbook, even though they have separate things. My mom's reminding me to tell you guys about Bible study. Yes, Bible study tonight. I'll be sharing, so it'll be really fun. We sing some music before. It's just a fun time together. But yeah, so they're both about the same, just this one's tempered. and then you'll refrigerate these both overnight. Nicole, we missed you too, but it's great that you set boundaries and spent time with your family. Yeah, I thought, oh, I could have done it because I didn't go anywhere that day, but then I'm like, no, I'm just going to spend some time with the family, and we did do a live Bible study that night, so I thought, let's just see, and I really did miss everyone, so I don't know if I'll ever do that again. I missed you guys way too much. Hi, Amy, thanks for joining. So yeah, try out these recipes. It's in my holiday cookbook. You can find all my cookbooks and more. You'll find the replay of this video, recipes from other past episodes, all the past episodes, recipe index. The nicest lady ever. Her name is Debbie. She put together like the ultimate recipe guide. She took all the volumes of cookbooks and she wrote down like all the ingredients list so it's easier to shop. And then she put down like which volumes this recipe is in. She did all of that, like really amazing. Some other ladies helped her. It was so fun to see all of you guys kind of like chip in and join in on this like creating thing. It was so fun. And then she said, I want to send it to you. I don't want anything for it. Just do it so everybody can have it. So I did that, and then I posted it on my website. But I think there was some issues, but it's still on my website. You can find that. Otherwise, on the recipe ideas page, that's also on there. So that's really fun. You can like find out what recipes are in this, that are in the other volumes, and how that all kind of goes together. So that's really fun.
We're waiting to taste your eggnog.
You said they're waiting to taste my eggnog. No, I don't think so. No, just kidding. You can't taste it yet because it's hot. It has to chill for hours to overnight. Sorry. They wanted to taste it, but it would be nasty right now. Oh, they're crying. Oh, they're rolling on the floor, sobbing. Okay, they're not. I'm exaggerating. They are sighing and walking away. Sorry, I would have. I was ready, but I would be mean if I let them try it now. That would just be nasty. Gail, it was very helpful. Thank you. Lois, thank you so much. Thanks for joining, Lois. Thank you for watching, Gail, and everyone here. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen, Annette. I bet, Annette, you know how this feels with your family and how they all like your food too, that you're like, no, back off, this is mine, I made this. Or you want to share it, but it's not ready yet. So I bet Chloe feels that too when she makes things. Oh, the joys of having family so close. It's so fun. I love it. It is so fun to cook with you guys. It's always hard to say goodbye and like end it, but I will see you next week. Send me some ideas. Somebody suggested, hey, make the eggnog this week, and I'm like, yes, we'll make the eggnog. I was so excited. I had all the ingredients. Janice, thanks so much for sharing. Oh, thank you, Janice. So yeah, send me suggestions of what we should make next week. It's really fun. No, I can't let them try my eggnog yet, Amy. It won't taste good. It would be comedy for everybody, but it wouldn't taste good to them. Not yet. It has to marinate, have a little alone time. Sometimes we all need a little alone time. Fun. This is my first watch party with you. Robin, thank you for joining and welcome for the first time. So fun having you here. Peggy, thank you. Thank you, Peggy, for watching. All right, I'll let you guys go, and I will see you next week. Comment below, like suggestions. If you're watching the replay, comment below. I still love to like answer your questions and stuff. If you have questions during the video, you might want to like write down a little context of some questions, because I've had one like, oh, what was that? And then I'm like, oh, I'm not sure what part you're watching in the video. So if you do have comments, be like, what was that ingredient that you put between? I don't know. Just kind of explain it. Then I'll be able to answer your questions instead of being like, what were you asking? So anyways, sweetie, thank you. And you take care also. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Go to my website, find some fun stuff on there. There's sample recipes, there's past episodes, there's all that stuff, weightlossrecipescookbook.com. These also make fabulous Christmas gifts. I've had a couple of you guys message me and be like, hey, I'm getting 2 of this because I want one for myself and one as a gift. And I'm like, that is a gift that will keep on giving. One lady said that she bought this for her friend, and that her friend always invites her over for like food and stuff. So she was so excited because she's like, yes, she's gonna make me this stuff, and then I'll just get to go over and enjoy it. So if y'all want to be a friend like that to me, be like, make me stuff and invite me over. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this is like a gift that will keep on giving to you and your family. So it's very fun. So hop on over there, check it out. Thanks for joining me today. I'll be back next week. Suggest what I should make next week. maybe we'll make some of that stuff. Maybe it's a new recipe. We never know. You never know what's going to happen on live. But it's always fun. And remember, you're only one thought away from a good day. Join me for Bible study tonight. Love of God Family Church Facebook page. I'll be sharing. It'll be a fun time together. Okay, I'll say goodbye. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. With joy, Natalie.